sunny side, and the end of the year. I don't know if I would say usually. I don't want to believe it's a usual thing, but between the 1st of December and now, I know how many bad news I've had to read or I heard from someone. People losing lives, people involved in accidents, people being shot, people being kidnapped and robbed and scammed. And the one I witnessed this morning was people losing their life's work by virtue of an inferno. It's really sad, but then again, it's not what anybody prays for. I mean, nobody envisages coming into the year 2022 only to be visited with bad news. Not at all. Not at all. So I went this morning to get akara, and the akara lady was talking. I could see smoke, but I couldn't make out what it was. I thought someone was deliberately burning something. And then a man walked to us and said, "Abeg, come, waiting caused the fire." And I'm like, "What fire?" He said, "The fire now, you still they burn till now." This is around like to 9. So I took a walk and I saw 2 shops burnt. As in burnt. There was nothing recoverable from the shops. One was a tailoring shop. So I saw all the sewing machines burnt. Fabrics, everything. As in you couldn't, you know how some fires happen and you can at least you salvage or save some things. No, for this one, everything burnt, even down to generator burnt. And I asked the owners of these shops, have they come? They say yes. So they came, they saw it, they called them, they came, they saw it, and they left. And the fire was still there, you know. And if you say, "Oh, why didn't they put out the fire?" My dear, if you had seen it, if you put out that fire, it was going to be, you couldn't, zinc burnt everywhere. So what were you going to rescue from the fire? Who called them? Who gave them the news? Someone must have picked up his or her phone to say, Hewa, Chinaya, come on, Denise, come on, what's it? Your shop there, Bono. Ewa, my shop. Hey, my shop. Ewa, where? Ewa. And they started running to the shop. And maybe on their way to the shop, they prayed it was a joke. But then they arrived and they saw the bad news staring them in the face. I could only imagine how the husband of the late lawyer felt. Being in the same vehicle. Nobody had to tell him. He was there. And he watched as his wife was shot. And then she died. But it may have been difficult for him to call her mother or call her family members or call her friends to tell them that your daughter, your sister, your friend, or maybe their other child, tell them your mother is gone, dead. How easy is it to break bad news? Or deliver bad news? I told you to ponder on something before we went on the break. I told you to, ponder on euphemism. What we were taught back then in literature class, when we were looking at figure of speech, irony, personification, simile, metaphor. Then there's euphemism, which means a mild or indirect word or expression substituted for one considered to be too harsh or blunt when referring to something unpleasant or embarrassing. And then we were taught, I beg your pardon, if we forgot every other thing else we were taught, I'm sure we wouldn't forget kick the bucket. Meaning someone died. So as opposed to saying that someone died, you say, "Oh, your daughter just kicked the bucket." And what if the person doesn't understand what kick the bucket means? Does it change how they will react, really? Is it best to deliver bad news as it is, or to find a way around it to make it sound less unpleasant? When you watch some movie scenes and someone was involved in an auto crash and the doctor, tried so hard to revive the person, or someone was rushed to the hospital and you have the family members waiting at the reception for the doctor or the nurse. So anytime they see the nurse, all of them will stand up. Nurse will not answer them. She'll move. Matron will not answer them. Move. Doctor will not answer them. Move. And they need answers, right? And they keep asking, how's my daughter? How's my wife? How's my son? How's my husband? How's my father? You don't get a response. Then finally, at least from the movie scenes I have seen, the doctor comes out. And they rush to him, say, doctor, what's happening? And he says, can I see just the husband? Or can I see just one person? Or maybe the doctor decides to tell everybody there. And then he goes, they see his countenance and they can only deduce that, something terrible must have happened. But then again, he goes, and we're sorry. We tried everything we could, but we lost him or we lost her. And then boom, you see reactions. The ones that will cry. The ones that will roll on the ground will roll on the ground. The ones that will faint. The ones that will walk away will walk away. The ones that will try to say, doctor, you are joking. They will hook. See, what do they call it? Hooking shirt. They will hook the doctor's shirt. Say, doctor, tell me it's not true. Tell me it's not true. Different reactions. Bad news is never good, because if it was good, then it would be called good news. As with anything, the context in which you deliver the news may seem important or not. I think it is important. It determines whether the receiver's reaction becomes another bad news. People have, in the process of receiving bad news, become another bad news. So someone heard a bad news and faints and goes into coma, and that's how that person is lost. Okay? So, hence we're asking two questions. What are the best possible ways, if any, to deliver bad news? There are some people today, 28th December, that are not aware that they have lost someone. And this is solely because the people that know are still trying to find a way around how to deliver the news to them, because they don't want it to become a problem. So they rather hold on to the information until when they feel like the person is brave enough to receive the information. Okay? Some people will never hear of it until months after it has happened. Okay, so some people would hold a meeting, say, okay, it has happened. How do we tell her? How do we tell him? Have you ever had to deliver or receive a bad news? What was the experience like? Have you ever had to receive or deliver? Jude, by the way, I'm going to drag him into this conversation, was the one that delivered the bad news of my dad's passing to me. And today I can sit here and laugh about it. It's not like it was funny, but it's quite ironic how from what started off as a very wonderful day for me that day, then I receive a call and they're telling me to come to my father's house and bring a key or bring something to break the door. I wasn't prepared for the worst. And then himself and Sam tried all they could to keep me outside the building while they were trying to get into the house and all of that. And then when I struggled to get in, Jude comes out and he says, I'm sorry, Denise, your dad is gone. I laugh. I remember the picture is still fresh in my memory. It's still fresh in my head. I said, come, what's wrong with you? Please shift away from my corner. And then I was walking to my dad's room only to realize that what he said was true. Did he do a good job breaking the news to me? Was there any other way Jude would have said it to me that wouldn't have made me feel the way I felt that day? I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking from experience as one who had had to receive bad news. And the several others I've had to receive. Most times I'm at work. I think the day I lost my grandma, I was at work. I was on the Sunday vibe, having a conversation, and before you knew it, I see a message that we've lost grandma. And I had to still continue the conversation on the show like nothing happened until eventually went on a break. Then I cried. Then I had to still come back on air and continue the show like nothing happened. It's not really easy, but let's hear from you. 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. WhatsApp number is 0809 030-6416, 0809-030-6416. We're live on Twitter handle at NigeriaInfoPH, and then Facebook page Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Remember to turn down the volume of your radio set as you call. Also ensure to be audible so that we can hear you. Let's see. Nigeria Info, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Hello, good afternoon today.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Clement. How to break fast news to someone, right?
Yeah, the best way. If there is any event to deliver such news.
I think the way Jude did it was a very good way to do it.
Jude should be happy I did not slap himself.
No, wait. You said Jude called you. You were not there. He called you, right?
No. We were there together.
Oh, you were there together?
Yes, but they left me outside the gate of my own house and went inside. So they knew all along that it had happened, but I don't know what they were doing, what they were trying to do, whether they were trying to revive him or something. But long story short, I ran in, and Jude came out and met me and said what he said.
And you see, Jude actually composed himself. As in, of course, Jude took it as if he's his dad. So imagine the way Jude, as Jude heard it, he just broke it like that. Jude has to be in a position where he is calm, because that is what I will do too.
You'll be calm.
You don't know the time between when it happened and when Jude took his time and then eventually opened up to you. So at least that time in between, something must have happened to say, okay, now I think I can say it to her, and then whatever happens, we can put her together. So I think that method is okay for me. He kicked the bucket, she kicked the bucket, and now who did class that day when they teach that thing? I ain't going to understand that language now. So for me, I'll just say as it is. Like, Popsy is no more. Mom, no there again, no. Where you go? And you don't go to the other side. When I say that side, I believe you've understood what I mean. So for me, that is how we say it.
Okay,
yeah.
So you just go ahead and say it.
Yes.
Would it be easy? No, let me start with this. Have you ever had to break bad news to someone?
Of course.
Okay. So did you pause? Did you calculate what the right words to use, or you say, "I beg, I'm just gonna say it the way it happened"?
I didn't need to start painting the stories around it. I just have to go straight to what happened, and that is it. Now, maybe it will be later that we'll start saying, okay, this is what really happened, this is how it happened, this is how it happened. But right there as what we really want to pass was, this is what happened. For instance, like the science we talk about. Imagine you start saying, okay, you were going to buy a car, and you stood in Nkechi. I was seeing people running from your shop side. And before you knew it, I said, okay, let me look. Nkechi, I can't see in your shop, born. I will tell you, Nkechi, your shop, born. There is no need painting the story how I went to buy a car, how I went to do this, and then see that your shop is born. I'll just tell you.
Okay.
Madam.
All right, thank you. No need to start explaining. This is what is happening. Come wherever you are. And some other people would ask questions like, where are you? Are you alone? Yeah. Are you alone? Can you talk right now? You know, they ask questions to want to ascertain your composure, your level of composure. What is it? if there's someone around you that can actually hold you, should they, or they ask to see you face to face. I know some people do all of that. Anyway, we'll come back to this conversation after this commercial break. Keep the calls coming. Keep your messages coming as well. WhatsApp number once again, 0809 030 6416. .3 Nigerian for FM. If you're just joining us, we're currently having a conversation on the best ways to deliver bad news. Is it best to deliver bad news as it is, or to find a way around making it sound less unpleasant? What are the best possible ways, if any, to deliver bad news? Have you ever had to deliver or receive a bad news? What was the experience like? It could be on anything. Even losing a job is bad news for some persons. You know, telling your partner that, you know what, we are now out of job, we're jobless, is bad news. Someone dies, is bad news. Fire, outbreak, accident, gunshots, kidnap, robbery, you name it, it's bad news. Nigerian for good afternoon. Alright, 070 0923 0923 070 0923 0923, and then WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809 030 6416. We're live on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH on Twitter, and Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Let's see. Nigeria Info, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon, Denise.
Good afternoon.
My name is Anonymous.
Anonymous, welcome.
Really exaggerating in something like isn't cool. You know, going straight to the point really matters a lot, because last you go still tell the truth, but still tell the truth. So exaggerating isn't cool.
Exaggerating isn't cool. Straight to the point is preferable. Nigerian Phil, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon, what are you doing?
Good afternoon.
My name is Xavier.
Your name is?
Xavier.
Xavier, welcome Xavier. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, to me, I delivered this bad news to my father. My mother died. So the way I did it, I have to make sure that he's at safe place, trying to calm myself down. Dad, where are you? And he said, I'm at home. Okay, fine. You're a man. I have to bear it, just have to take heart. Mom is gone, So I make sure he was in a safe place. Yeah, he would not have some shock with him. So that's how I decided. I didn't just stand direct to him and say, I will not go. I have to make him understand that life is just something that you have to deal with when the bad news comes and the good news comes. So that is it.
Okay, so what was his reaction like when you told him?
He was like, come on, are you kidding me? The woman I left from this morning, but I was very healthy and nothing happened to her, and you're telling me that she's gone. So that's how we see it. So we have to go and rush to the office and bring him home and everything. So that was it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for just a bad news.
Yeah, it is. It is. Losing a parent is not easy. Losing a spouse is not easy. I'm sure so many things was going through your mind while you were even telling you were trying to be a man because you wanted him to calm down, but didn't you? I'm sure it was hurting. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
Even before I called him, it took me like 3 hours after crying and trying to compose myself. After the cry and everything, people were around me. So I have to call my dad, to tell him what's happened. So I have to take my phone, it wasn't easy, taking the phone, sending the number. The composure was like, I was even learning how to compose myself. I was even trying to be a learner, in terms of composing myself to deliver the news to him. It was because the woman was very, very healthy in the morning. Nothing happened to her. She was not sick. She was fine. Everybody left her home, We just to hear the news that she's gone. So it's just a bad, terrible something that happened to my family. But thank God for life.
We thank God for life.
We
thank God for life. Thank you for calling as well. Nigerian for good afternoon. Welcome to the Sunlight.
Thank God I can call and I want to talk. Good afternoon, Didi.
Good afternoon.
I'm Dennis Bob calling from Transama.
Dennis Bob, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. I've actually break the bad news for I was earlier this year, February 28th, when my director died. So I was on my job when those guys were living with him told me. I was so shocked. It's not that I put the machine on automatic. I don't know what would happen to me. So, because I on this machine.
Okay.
Then when I break the news to research our secretary in there, I went and I met him, she and the manager. Broke the thing open and said, have you heard what happened? He said no. I said, okay, I thought I got this part. I heard our guy just died. So she shouted and started crying and holding me like I said, I wouldn't have been the one to say it. So that was how I did mine. Just went straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Do you think that there was any other way you could have possibly done it? And
from this program now, I now remember that I would have used another way. I took thought to it. I would have used another way, like kick bucket.
What if the person doesn't know what it means to kick buckets?
Yes, you understand now. A grown-up person.
Say a grown-up person. Okay. Euphemism, does it always work, really? The reality is that if the person doesn't understand, you would have to start explaining what you mean. Does the explanation make it any more less painful? Or does it delay the reaction? Nigerian for good afternoon. Welcome to the... Okay.
They don't live like that. Even our fathers, they are made to deliver such news. When somebody dies, you hear a drum, a particular drum line. this drum line is not so good. What happened? People go to the town square where the news should be given. If it is so they ought to come to the house to deliver, what do they tell them? A great hero in this compound has fallen. These are ways our fathers deliver messages. People don't ask who. That concept of asking who, you have now the attention of the receiver. There are people that they have given news like this. Oh, your loved one just died in car accident, and they scream. Some of those scream of those processes, some people are even gone mad. Some people fall sick. Some were devastated because of the way the news was delivered. The truth is this. Since we start diffusing the process of who we are as Africans, we start losing values. Are you aware that there was a time in Africa, in our community, there was no one never, but our no one that we live there, the time we got found. There's always an appearance of something, and the man that understood delivered this message by telling a story. How a smoke was this, or how a tree was that. Something must be spoken as a storyline, and they don't deliver the news at this time. Some of them they wait until late at night, or they wait till the early morning. So these are processes we use in delivering messages of bad news, so that you don't end up affecting more people or causing more pain even to the living. Mr. Zion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Zion. Nigerian Info, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Sorry, am I up to Nigerian Info?
Yes, this is Nigerian Info FM. Welcome.
Okay, I was very well. Station.
You were what?
I was listening station.
Okay.
Bringing bad news to someone.
Yes.
That did not expect it. For me, now deliver bad news to someone, and someone has delivered bad news to me. I was not, and I saw his dead body.
Your line is breaking. I can barely hear you. Hello?
Let me call back, please. Let me call back.
Okay, please do call back. Nigerian, good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Hello, good afternoon, my sister woman.
Good afternoon, my brother man.
My name is Ibrahim Fakot.
Good news, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I want to say that when we get the news, not only bad news, even some good news kills. Some exciting news kills. When you get some news like this that you guys are speaking, you watch the countenance of the person you want to give the message to. Don't just give message to someone who is eager to hear. Supposing somebody is sick in the hospital, and he hears something happened, and he ran down and he's eager to hear, and maybe the person died. You don't just break the news for the person and say, yes, it is dead. No, you want to find them in the countenance of those people there, that person, before you break the news. It doesn't matter if you say keep bucket or you sleep for granted. He is dead. He is dead. Then you watch the countenance of the person. Like, for example, when I heard that at the Parliamentary of Limousin, my cousin died. It didn't something people want to see the way they are dressing. Everybody wants to talk to me. They were my cousin also, young one don't die. He don't tell me that. Like, you watch my countenance before you kiss me. It's that time I was eager to hear. He told me. Probably I would have something would happen to me. So maybe he told me I'll just sat down and get myself before I stood up and say what happened. I started going to the house to find out that no one is dead. So I think you understand the condition of the person. And those days too, when a big man dies in an area like the king or that, what they do is that this native dog and gong. They used to cry around the community. We call it ekere in our Ikore language. They'll come to you. When you hear that drum, that come playing, immediately you know that something terrible, something has happened. And everybody starts rushing to the palace to hear the news. If it's a good one or a bad one. My name is David.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. You watch the countenance of the person. Is this person eager to hear the news? Nigerian for good afternoon. Welcome to the sunny side.
Hello, Nigeria.
Welcome. Go ahead.
I'm back on stage. Sorry, I was talking about one variant. What happened? The guy who told me life, I can't see him again. And some people, and some bad news that you tell them can make them collapse, either go on coma or die at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And what I suggest that before you take the bad news to the person, for me, if I have to tell the bad news, I'll say, please don't cry. Or will you be annoyed? Or anything. I'll just ask
you will ask if the person will cry or if they will be annoyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will not tell the person the bad news. If the person cry, I will tell the person to calm down. Because of in this life is just like a market. When someone who comes to buy something, someone comes to buy something and black, and when you buy something this life, you might surely go back because God have called the person. My name is Joshua.
All right, Joshua. Will you cry or will you be annoyed? What kind of response are you expecting when you ask that kind of question? So, some people use "she's passed on." Others will say something like "he's in a better place." Those are for death. How best do you tell somebody that your shop or your warehouse is burning and everything has been gutted by fire? How best do you tell somebody that you are fired? How best do you tell someone that what other bad news? Yes, you miscarried, you lost your child, you lost your pregnancy. How best can you tell someone that you were robbed and they took away everything? They cut it away with everything. Not one thing is left. How about you tell someone that your person was kidnapped and you expect the person not to start shouting, "Ewo, ewo"? Have you ever been in the hospital? Oh my God. Have you ever? You hear the scream, "Ah!" and you're wondering what happened. Say, "Oh, chai. Mama just died, yo." They just tell them. They shout, saying, "Oh, che, sorry, yo. Oh, che." And you see the person. Some people try to suck it in. So they're sounding somewhat like, They're not saying anything. They're just, as it were. I think it was last year. Myself and a colleague of mine, I think it was Kosi, we had to go to the hospital. And then a hospital nearby. The previous day we had gone to that same hospital. I had taken him to that same hospital because he was the one not feeling well. And we saw when the lady was brought to the hospital. And then the following day we had gone back and we were seeing people outside, the corridor of the hospital. And we saw a body bag. And they were telling one of the persons there, "Be a man. Be a man. Don't cry. You need to be strong. You need to be strong. Be a man." So it turned out that the lady that was brought in the previous day had passed on. News spread fast. Good news or bad news. So the people out there were her relatives. And they were trying to convey her body to a morgue. I saw the mom was crying. They were calming her down. Say, "It's okay. It's okay." Say, oh. The husband was also sucking it in. This man wanted to cry. Okay, so how the hospital people, how the doctors, how the nurses broke the news to him or whoever was there present, and how the news was spread round, I wouldn't know. But what I saw was their reaction to that bad news. It had become their reality. They had lost someone. Is there a better way? Can I deliver news in such a way that as much as they will feel the pain, it may not be felt to a certain degree? Is it possible? Or if you say it mildly, it's the same reaction. If you say it the way it is, it's the same reaction. So just go ahead and say it. Which one are you asking them? Are you going to cry? Are you going to be annoyed? Which one are you going to ask them? Is someone there going to come over? You have to even know whether you want to tell the person over the phone or you want to be there physically to tell the person. That's another thing. How do you even convey the message? How do you start structuring? You know how they say a man wants to propose to a lady and he's standing in front of the mirror with the ring and he's practicing how he would tell the lady, will you marry me from the first day I set my eyes on you and all of that, and then he goes down on one knee. Then he eventually sees the lady after rehearsing for days and weeks in front of the mirror, and all of those things he rehearsed to say. Bottom line is, marry me. And sometimes the ladies have understood to an extent that it takes a lot for this man to even do this. So once they see the ring, they shout and they put their hand and he puts the ring, and it just saves the man the stress. Because how many of them? Some of them go as far as writing a note, and they read it out to the lady. Or they just have the decorator put the will you marry me, and they don't have words to say. What if some people have actually stood in front of the mirror like that man that wants to propose and have rehearsed how they want to say, oh, your mama don't die, or you lost this, or we have your dinner filled with goods capsized on the high sea? Or think of, does it help to even rehearse? Does it help to write it down so that when you see the person you say, I want to tell you something, what is it? Then you bring out the sheet of paper and then you start reading word for word everything you have written down. A message on Twitter says, this one is from at Benjamin Iloma. I want to believe that there are no better ways to deliver bad news, but people just need to be strong-willed and courageous to accept and deal with whatsoever life offered at any given time. Interesting. WhatsApp messages here. This one says, good afternoon, Didi. My name is Scott. It depends on who is involved and the magnitude of the news. Imagine telling an old woman that her only child is dead. You might end up killing her as well. So what should you do? Not tell her and go ahead and bury the child? Good afternoon, Didi. I think bad news is better to say quietly. A friend of mine brought a domestic worker a few days ago. As a custom of taking them through medical tests, she tested the recent one. Lo and behold, she was HIV positive. I advised her to go and run her so test when she gets to her place. Good afternoon. My dad collapsed in the lobby and he was rushed to the team hospital at Calabar, received medical care. My elder brother called me and said to me, Enwa, I didn't find. He didn't give me the details. He was just very brave about it. My name is Enwa from Alakaya. Hello, Denise. This is Big Sam from Alakaya. It is good to pass bad messages indirectly so as not to cause another problem to the receiver. But my brother did not let me know indirectly when I lost my dad. He was very open. He just went straight to tell me, son, we have lost our dad. That is how it went. So it's good to tell the affected person indirectly because some persons might not be able to bear the shock. I think that's what she wanted to write. Someone said, I don't think there's any way to deliver a bad news. What happened has happened somewhere. It is the best way to share bad news is to say it. Allow the person to get to know by themselves. How do they know by themselves? Okay, it's to say it. Allow the person to get to know by themselves. How? Please tell us how. My sister, it is somehow difficult to live out news. My mother died when I was taking my first lecture in the university. I received SMS that I should come home immediately to get my documents due to communal crisis. I rushed down, only to realize that it had happened. I'm the first son, so I had to take the responsibility immediately. Good afternoon, presenter. Breaking off bad news to someone is not just my thing. I am someone who is always very emotional, and especially when it comes to death. I just don't have the composure to speak up. I rather have someone to speak for me. Interesting. Good afternoon, DDW. The truth now is that some unconcerned persons enjoy dispensing bad news than even those that should. I know that's what social media provides, but talking in line of this conversation, I don't think there is a better way, but it depends on the emotional maturity of the person you are communicating with. Imagine someone trying to code bad news to me. You are adding injury. Tell me the way it is. I'm emotionally mature from my experience, not by age alone. And I don't expect you to tell others the way you should tell me. For instance, when my dad died, I didn't cry. But all of my seniors did. And it was like I'm a suspect. So, what is bad is bad. It's left for us to use our brain to full capacity, according to you, Didi. Thank you, and Michael. This is one good afternoon. When I lost my senior brother, I don't understand. When I lost this, my senior brother called me around 3 a.m. when I'm listening to your midnight show and said, "Oh boy, Popsy, don't go down." I say, "How?" And I'll tell him, "Okay, let's talk in the morning." They're saying, "Okay, let's talk in the morning." You know, rush down to go and see what was happening. Are there better ways? Are there more appropriate ways to do these things? Do we need to go to a school to tell us, okay, this is what to do, what not to do, and why you should do it like this, and why you shouldn't do it like this? Oh well, some people call themselves life hackers. You know, they've understood life so much so that to a large extent they found a way around this whole delivering of bad news thingy. And they came up with some, what did they call it? Hold on, let me check again. How to deliver bad news. That's what they called it. So I'm going to read. I think I should be able to. What's going on here? Okay, but we need to go on a commercial break as well. So let's see how this works. If I will be able to share what I saw and how best to do so. Because it's not just about the person you're delivering it to. What about you delivering the message? So they say something about making eye contact, sorting yourself out first to be sure that you're even okay, trying to be neutral, being prepared, speaking at the level you need to, use facts, don't negotiate, offer help, suggest solutions, and all of that. Let's see if I can share at least 2 of them before we round up. That's if we have time after the commercial break. It's still the sunny side on your number 1 station for Talk 92.3 Nigeria Info FM, and just stay tuned to us as we come back to round off.
To thrive in a fast-changing world,
tune in to 92.3 Nigeria Info. Keep your dial locked for sustainable development.
You are tuned in.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.